Hey everyone, it's Brendan here, and today I'll be talking about a commander that took our Saturday Night Magic by storm. Now this is Yago, Glutton of Urborg, piloted by Linden. Now, Yago here is a 5 mana commander that's a 9/3 Frog Spirit with no printed text. So, with a commander this big and without any printed text, how does one win a game of Magic? Well, Linden here has a lot of ideas, so let's go through her list. Now with Yago being a 5 mana commander, we want to give him haste. So here's the Fast and Furious section of her deck list with Cloak of the Bat, Swiftfoot Boots, Haunted Cloak, and Sword of Vengeance. Each of them giving different buffs to Yago so that his no printed texted body wouldn't feel so bad. Now each of these give haste, Sword of Vengeance gives Trample, First Strike Vigilance, and extra power, and she might want to change that to Lightning Greaves because it is cheaper. Next, we have the Infect package of her deck list. Now, these cards are meant to give Yago, well, Infect, so that she can deal 10 poison counters to an opponent and win the game. From there, Phyrexis, Exografted Skeleton, and Tainted Strike all help Yago hit 10 poison damage in a flash so that she can, end the game a lot faster. Although Phyrexis doesn't really give stats, the artifacts, weapons in the deck would assist her in getting there quickly. Tainted Strike is more of a surprise attack, of course, because it's an instant, so it makes it sneaky enough so that Yago can go in right before damage and deal 10 poison counters. Now with Yago having such a relatively nice large body, we want to upsize it, of course. So here we have the Blackblade Reforged, Nightmare Lash, the Gauntlet, Golem Skin Gauntlet, and the Strata Scythe. Each of them giving their own way to stack the power of Yago to 21. Now, Blackblade Reforged will give +1/+1 per land, the Golem will give +1/+0 per artifact, Nightmare Lash gets +1/+1 for each swamp, and Strata Scythe can be similar to Nightmare Lash in the sense where you can just put a swamp under this and you will just have, a lot of power. She also runs the Lethrive, which has a cheap equip cost and does the same. Next, we have the Unstoppable, the sequel. Now this is how we're gonna make Yago unblockable. We have the Chitinous Cloak, which gives him menace, which makes it harder to block. Predator's Gambit, giving Yago Intimidate, which means he only can be blocked by artifact creatures or black creatures, which is kind of, not easy to put on the table most of the time. Especially with the large amount of removal spells in black, she can just, pinpoint and stuff. Changeling Outcast is a unblockable shapeshifter at 1 mana 1/1, so it's a bit small, but at least it can't be blocked. Well, in its passive, so just gotta buff the Changeling Outcast to a decent amount of damage and either kill your opponents with the previous Infect cards or just, wipe their HP because you're gonna have a lot of swamps on the table anyways, so that's a plus. Moving on to the next part of the deck list, just in case Yago dies, how are we gonna get him back? So we first have the Shades form. Whenever enchanted creatures put into a graveyard, return that creature to play under your control, which means Yago gets a second chance at trying to swing at an opponent for game, and it also has sort of the fire breathing effect that dragons have. By paying a black, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, which means with enough mana you can scale this to 21 commander damage or just need to activate it once and hit someone in Infect. Kaya's Ghost form also does the same thing as Shades form, so it will bring Yago back. And Palace Siege, just in case Yago gets too expensive in the command zone, she can always return Yago from her graveyard to her hand. So that means it's always constantly at 5 mana and you don't have to invest the extra commander tax, which I think is actually pretty smart, considering that some games do last to the late game in certain pots. This is a great inclusion to make Yago a lot more stickier and easier for her to close games. Finally, all in all, I think that Yago is a pretty fun deck to play, at least, watching Linden pilot it. At the start it just seems very calm, this is the calm after the storm, and then after that, once Yago starts hitting the table, she can start hitting players for lethal, or at least dangerous amounts of damage to put them in the pressure point, where the next turn they're either dead or on the turn Yago comes down, they are already dead. Oh my one more Shinderu meme inserted somewhere, I hope. So this is a really fun deck. I'm so glad to see someone win with a commander deck. So if you guys want to join us on our Saturday Night Magic, do check us out at the Excelsior Shopping Center. You can subscribe to this channel, ring a ding that bell so you can get the notifications whenever I make new videos, and all the links you need to our WhatsApp and Facebooks are in the description. So I hope you guys enjoy.